So this quote is being shared on social media and nobody actually sourced it. So I'm going to assume it's fake. But apparently Mercedes, this is what people claim she said. Jake, did you hear this? Did you see this before?
No, I did see this, and I made a comment on it, and people were saying it's fake, and I'm like, okay, if it can be fake, sure. The problem is she said so much crap like this that it's so damn believable. Like, you read this, and you're like, I could see her saying this because she said so much other stuff, like she did with the stuff with Megan Thee Stallion, where she was saying how it was her that was going to bring her to WWE, and then Julian pointed out that no, they were talking with her in 2021. So, nobody believes their own hype more than she does. So
it's so funny too how Wrestling News Co. goes, oh, we're not going to share this because we don't know if it's real or not. But then they're sharing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Such just like shady biz. Like, you're the news for real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Is a total shady move. Like, oh yeah, we're not going to share this as a story, but here it is.
So she goes, I always felt like I was a big fish in a small pond over there in WWE. I always felt like I was destined for bigger things, and I had a massive anchor tied to my ankle. I had to pass up on a major Hollywood roles to honor tour dates and PPVs while I was there. In brackets, WWE every time. Like, yeah, we get it. Tony understands me. I've got some projects coming up that he's already signed off on me taking time off to do. Wow, so thanks for just letting us know you're dipping out and taking time off of your, 3 or 5 year deal?
And you're already? 1 day of work a week.
Oh my God, man. If this is real, I can't believe if it's real. I can't even roast her for real. I feel I've been working on an album that I'm hoping releases by next year. And Tony has even agreed to consider having one of my tracks be the theme song of our new show that's running soon. Dude, one of her tracks is Shockwave to counteract SmackDown and Meg Thee Stallion. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name of it yet. But yeah, we're changing the landscape of wrestling as a whole. And I'm just excited to be on the better side of it here at AEW Wrestling.
She's definitely an assahola.
Yeah, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, like, okay, if that is fake, then I could have, and it probably is, because let's be real, a lot of that stuff gets shared around like that. But the problem is, she said so many other things that are real and has done so many different crap podcasts that you'd believe it. Like, that was easily believable when I read it. I didn't think for a second it was fake. And then people were saying it was. I'm like, all right, sure, could be.
So speaking of fake, no, I'm just kidding. But Duke was calling out Mansoor on the show, so call back. But listen, Mansoor, I'm cool with you, bro. I don't even know you like that. So, anyways. This guy's on Mansoor's on a podcast with Aubrey Edwards and Will Washington, who, mind you, is on the creative team. And he's sitting here talking about how great his creative is in AEW.
And all the marks took this too.
Yeah, like, sorry?
I said Will has Tony's ear, too. Even if he's not working on every piece of creative, everyone's saying that he's got, he's one of the main voices in Tony's ear, and he's Strickland's cousin. So of course he's going to blow him on this.
Yeah, dude. And Mansoor and Mase are in AEW doing the exact same gimmick, the exact same thing they were doing in WWE, and they're allowed to keep their goddamn name. And they're sitting here saying that the creative is way better to a guy on the creative in AEW on an AEW podcast, bro. Like, this couldn't be, like, come on, man. This is like a parody or something. This can't even be real. Bro, he's saying it he's kissing this dude's ass. I'm just going to call it spade a spade on the show, and he's just doing the gimmick he came up with in WWE. What's different? Oh, the matches. Oh, we're just in more matches on shows on Collision.
This is a full Lanny Poffo.
Bro.
People who get that, get that.
Okay, here, let's listen to this.
When we were on the...
and I know we're getting Don Stevens because Aubrey Edwards hosting the show. And
the Indies. We had the goal of going to AEW. That was always the goal.
And that was always their goal. That was always your goal.
Liar!
Right, because if WWE had made you the offer to come back, you wouldn't.
Goddamn liar! I'm actually gonna leave this one small because I know they're gonna Don Stevens my ass. So he is.
And honest to God, like even while we were in WWE, you know, me and Mason, we're kind of we're different a little bit, if that makes sense. You know, if there's a comparison to make, it's like if WWE is like a Michael Bay movie, I see AEW as like a David Lynch movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, you can. And there was always something so alluring about that. I remember we were sitting when AEW first started. We were in NXT, and we'd be sitting in that auditorium watching NXT while people would be on their phones watching AEW. And there was
so people are like, "Oh, this confirms the story that they were all huddled around watching NXT." It's like, okay, who gives a shit? Look at Aubrey. She's like, "Yeah, see, I told you guys so. I told you it's the best show. I told it's the best." It's the best show. No. I'm not gonna steal Paul Lemon's bit, but yeah, dude, look at her.
But
She's so happy. She's
Yeah.
so happy that they're blowing. And then look at Washington. He's got all the titles like Tony Khan. He's collecting the belts. He's got AEW everywhere.
Yeah.
He's just smiling away. It's like, bro, come on, man. This dude's on the creative, and Aubrey's clearly like a for lifer. They have her involved in everything, you know.
Right, she took over the heels after Brandy left.
Yeah, she was like on the video game. She's doing this, and it's just like, man, this is so just silly.
Oh, right, she was with
Yeah,
on
I know.
the stupid Steve Jobs
that?
video game. The stupid Steve Jobs video game launch they did, where they all
Yes.
dressed up in the turtleneck. Yeah, it was Britt Baker, Omega, her. Oh, that was terrible.
There was always an element of like that outsider intrigue, that new sort of revolutionary thing, where we were like, God, I feel like if we were over there, we could be doing something really special. So, like all these years later, it's so rewarding to actually show up and for it to kind of take off in that sense, where creatively speaking, I think it's just firing off on all cylinders, where the synergy has been awesome. Because getting the opportunity to actually,
hey, what do you guys want to do? We want to like do some like pseudo kind of half gay. Okay, you know, go and do that. What is the creative process behind it?
Well, and it better be creatively speaking, because it's not financially speaking taking off anywhere.
That's what I mean.
Like,
oh yeah, Will, when we tell you our ideas about how we're going to touch tips and all that, and you love it, it's awesome. Oh, and you love it. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Oh, everything's great. Great. Awesome. Let's do it. Like, what is I just don't get it. I just really don't get it.
No, the creative process is, man. Oh, you're so awesome. No, you're so awesome. No, you're so great. No, you're so great. Like, just stop blowing each other.
I like these guys too. I like their gimmicks. Their gimmicks good too. We get great heat on house shows, man.
They have a little bit of creative freedom while also working with the creative team in AEW has, I think, for us, produced some of the best things that we've ever done. So it's just been awesome.
I remember what I was going to say. I watched a lot of their online stuff with when they were still in WWE with Maxine before it all kind of fell apart. Some of those things were pretty funny and they were decent. Like I saw what they were doing there, but you know, it never obviously went anywhere with it. But it's exactly the same gimmick, at least from the clips that I've seen. I haven't actually watched any shows with them on it doing this gimmick in, you know, AEW, ROH, whatever you want to, wherever they are.
Tony Khan confirms AEW and WBD have plans to do a lot of things on Max, including pay-per-views and weekly TV shows. Jesus Christ, man. People are just so ridiculous.
That's the thing too with that. If depending on how much, you know, WBD's getting of their pay-per-view deal, you know, it's not as big of a deal, even if it is that 170 million number, if they're getting a big portion of it, because most of the money that's going in, I won't say revenue, but most of the money that they've brought in is from their pay-per-views. It's not really revenue because they're spending more, but
Tony Khan confirms AEW and WBD have plans to do a lot of things on Max, blah, blah, blah. The plan is, I think, to do a lot of things potentially with Max. That could involve a variety of things. We have the shows on TBS and TNT. That's how they are available now. Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, pay-per-views, everything is on the table. For the PPVs, for sure, we've had great conversations about streaming. We've been doing it on BR. They are sunsetting Bleacher Report. We're going to be doing our pay-per-views on other apps. It's like, dude, we know he's not saying anything. We're working on some exciting announcements about where to get those and what's to come with Max. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I can promise you, I'm 100% confident that you're going to have AEW and TBS and TNT for a long time to come. So yeah,
who's he trying to convince?
Around for a while. Himself. I don't know. I think it is true. So, but here's the thing, though. They upload this. AEW uploads the best of Nigel McGuinness, former Ring of Honor World Champion, and WWE copyright blocked it. Now, people were laughing. It is funny. Like, it's funny to bring up in AEW news, but people got triggered and were like, oh, petty WWE. And it's like, yo, that's not how that works, right? So some of these things are like automated. So like I upload to YouTube literally every day of my life, guys. So I know even if I'm traveling, I upload or I'm checking my YouTube, you know, so I know what I'm talking about. Don Stevens and them will DMCA strike. Like, they're not doing that. This is like an automated block. It happens to me too when I use WWE footage and don't transform it enough. And, or like with music, and you just got to trim that section out or whatever after. And I have no problem doing it. If I do a 3-hour live show and I trim, there's 2 minutes of trim because of one of the segments. Well, that's why you got to watch the live show. You know what I mean? But
that's why a lot of the Botchamania and Promo Joe videos, they're reversed. Like when they want to show something for it. Yeah, it makes sense. You got to
I'm working on the system. I'm working on some scripted content as well, guys.
Nice.
That's more like general, just like for the masses type thing. And hopefully it takes off on the channel. I'm going to drop the first one soon. And again, patrons and members will get it, I believe, first. For sure, patrons will. The best of Nigel McGuinness here got a block, whatever. People were crying about it. Petty WWE, man. AEW would do it too. It has nothing. It was just automated because WWE uploaded content with the same footage. Cool. Tony Khan appeared on. He was also asked about being a competitor to WWE, and he gets asked flat out, "Are you trying to beat them?" And Tony Khan responds flat out, "Yeah, I want to be ahead, but it's a constant fight. It's 52 weeks a year. Wrestling is the only sport with no off season." And then they go, "Is it an obsession trying to beat them?" And he goes, "Fighting is an obsession. It really is a driving obsession. Competition is especially in wrestling and sports. Do you think that could be hard?" Oh, sorry, that's not. They go, "Do you think that could be harmful in getting caught up in trying to beat them and hurting what you're doing? Similar to sports, you have to focus it and try to do your best. That's how you win in sports too. None of your teams are winning, Tony Khan. The Jaguars suck.
What do you know about winning?
AEW sucks. You guys don't know about winning. You keep going out and doing your best at whatever you're trying to do. Whatever helps you sleep at night, pal."
Because now, does he sleep at night? I don't think so. Oh my God, that's great. There it is, right there. Winning in sports.
Jacksonville.
Right there. 0-2.
47-10. 0-3 after that game.
Right, yeah.
And Tony sitting there with a neck brace on that NFL draft day. We watched it. And Triple H just thought, imagine the coaches, players, and front office of a struggling franchise looking at this guy's using their draft day as fodder for a vanity project. And that's so true, dude. Jaguars.
There's two guys where he's like, "What happened to him?" I think he took a pile drive. Like just that. Yeah, that was great. That gave you everything you need to know about what the front office thinks of it.
The Jaguars' record since being bought by the Khans in 2011 is 65 and 128. Jesus. Bro, that is pretty bad.
There it is. That's what that deserves. Yeah.